All right, our reading today has us in Romans chapter 13. Submit to government. Let every soul be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and the authorities that exist are appointed by God. So God is challenging us to respect the position and the order that's established. Therefore, whoever resists the authority resists the ordinance of God, and those who resist will bring judgment on themselves. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to evil. Do you want to be unafraid of the authority? Do what is good, and you will have praise from the same. For he is God's minister to you for good. But if you do evil, be afraid, for he does not bear the sword in vain, for he is God's minister, an avenger to execute wrath on him who practices evil. Therefore you must be subject not only because of wrath, but also for conscience sake. For because of this you also pay taxes, for they are God's ministers, attending continually to this very thing. Render therefore to all their due, taxes to whom taxes are due, customs to whom customs, fear to whom fear, honor to whom honor. So it's talking about, that it's not really talking about those who are abusing their authority or who are, into corruption and all that. It's basically, you could look at it like, if you're obeying the laws, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, then you don't have to fear. If you are following the laws, you're not going to get in trouble. If you're driving the speed limit, you're not going to get pulled over, things of that nature. Now, I know there's stories and exceptions, but this is the general point here, is that as believers, part of our witness, part of our duties is to respect human authority as well. Not just those that we like, not just those we agree with, not just those that we think are Christian, not just those we voted for, but everybody. Love your neighbor. Owe no one anything except to love one another, for he who loves another has fulfilled the law. For the commandments: you shall not commit adultery, you shall not murder, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness, you shall not covet. And if there's any other commandment, are all summed up in the same, namely, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no harm to a neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfillment of the law. Put on Christ, verse 11. And do this, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now our salvation is nearer than when we first believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Therefore let us cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk properly, as in the day, not in revelry and drunkenness, not in lewdness and lust, not in strife and envy, but put on the Lord Jesus Christ, and make no provision for the flesh to fulfill its lust. So he's saying at the end there, the time is near. Life is short, and we're nearing the end. Live an obedient life. So a good challenge in Romans 13 to be disciplined and live for God and to love other people.